We are coming to you live on our ABC7 Streamcast with breaking news. There is a verdict in the trial of Joseph Shuba. The jury just announcing Shuba has been found guilty on all counts. Shuba was accused of killing 6-year-old Wadia Al-Fayumi and injuring the boy's mother in a stabbing attack back in 2023. Shuba was also charged with hate crimes because of the family's Muslim faith. Again, the jury now finding Shuba guilty on all counts. ABC7's Leah Hope has been covering this trial from the very beginning. She joins us from the Will County Courthouse with the latest on this verdict. Leah?
Sam, it's certainly interesting that this jury took just a little over an hour to decide this case. They heard evidence for 3 full days, and then today they heard the closing arguments from both sides, and it took them just over an hour to come to the decision that Joseph Shuba is guilty on all counts. So that's first-degree murder, attempted murder, aggravated battery, and hate crimes. This all stems from an incident in October 14th, 2023, when the landlord, Joseph Shuba, the Plainfield landlord, for some reason decided to turn on this family. For 2 years, this family had been living in the home of Joseph and Mary Shuba, and then just days before this incident is when he started saying things and making comments to Wadia's mother. As you mentioned, Wadia Al-Fayumi is the 6-year-old. He was just a kindergartner. He had just turned 6 years old, and he was stabbed 26 times. We understand that Joseph Shuba first went after his mother and Hanan Shaheen, and then when she was out of the hallway and into a bathroom calling for help, calling 911, that is when Joseph Shuba went after the child. We heard from first responders who testified in this trial about this bloody scene that was found in this home in October of 2023. We also heard from DNA experts that confirmed that not only Shuba's blood, but Wadia and Hanan's blood was also found on the murder weapon. Throughout this trial, Joseph Shuba, 73-year-old, we understand he has cancer and is being treated for that. He has sat stone-faced. He has not had any reaction to any of the testimony, to even the reading of the verdict. We also have seen family members in court and family members who have testified. We heard from the mother of Wadia, who talked about that day, about how she thought of the Shubas as friends, and for 2 years they had lived peacefully there together. But then just days before this happened, after the Israel-Hamas war, is when he started making comments and saying she should leave and Muslims were not welcome in his home. She talked with Mary Shuba, then wife of Joseph Shuba, who said she should not move out, that they had not given notice. So she really disregarded the comments that Joseph Shuba had made. But then that morning of October 14th, 2023 is when Joseph Shuba knocked on her door, forced his way in, and started attacking her, then attacking her son. There were 12 Will County residents who decided this verdict. And what it appears to be is a predominantly all Caucasian jurors who decided this verdict, and they took just a little over an hour to come to this decision. During this trial, they saw very graphic images of what happened to the boy, what happened to Hanan, and also they saw evidence as to the knife that was literally found in this little boy's body, a 7-inch knife that was found in this little boy's stomach. They also saw video from the sheriff's deputies, their police body-worn camera. There were several videos shown of this bloody scene, blood on the wall, blood on the bed, and of course the victims and what they look like. Joseph Shuba himself also covered in blood. That was an important piece of evidence. There was a video of Joseph Shuba in the back of a sheriff's deputy's car, covered in blood and making comments. And you hear this, the jurors heard this, where he made comments about Muslims. He referred to them as they're like a rat infestation that they wouldn't leave. So the jurors heard all of this, the jurors saw all of this, and it seemed there was little dissension among them about what the verdict should be in this case. And indeed, it took them just a little over an hour to come to this decision. They've been paying attention this entire week. They really started on Tuesday. Monday was jury selection. There were 12 jurors selected and 3 alternates. Then Tuesday is when they started hearing evidence. Also during this trial, we have seen people coming in, people who live in the area, interested parties, and of course those from the Chicago area Muslim community interested in how this case would go. In just a few moments, we're expected to hear from several organizations who are preparing to comment during the trial. People were hesitant to say anything. They wanted to see what was going on. They didn't want to jeopardize anything in the case or, presume to influence anyone, anything like that. But they said after the verdict was read is when they want their voices heard. And of course, we have people gathering behind me preparing to comment on this case. And today, significant not only that this verdict is being read, but it is a beginning of Ramadan at sunset this evening. So we saw those who were attending the trial stopped for prayer, for 1 o'clock prayer, and now coming back inside to hear this verdict and now to comment on not only what this means to the family, what this means to the community, and certainly what this has meant, as we have seen increasing rise of hate crimes across this country against Muslims, against a lot of different types of demographics. So people are gathering behind me, and I think they might be ready to start their conversation and to share their comments. I'm understanding that they are prepared to start, so we'll switch to them and hear what they have to say. After this jury here in Will County in Joliet took less than an hour to decide guilty on all counts, Joseph Shuba has found guilty first-degree murder, attempted murder, aggravated battery, and hate crimes.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.